Hello everyone, I am Mr. Sunil Kumar from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the esteemed AJ Institute of Engineering and Technology, Mangalore. Dear students, I am teaching you the course Material Testing Laboratory for 3rd and 4th semester Mechanical Engineering students as per video syllabus. Now it is for 4th semester students. Why this lab, Material Testing Lab? In this lab, we will be learning about different properties of materials, the properties such as tensile strength, hardness, toughness, wear properties, all those things, these properties are required and many more are required because whenever the materials are under applications, these properties will affect the applications. At the same time, we need to understand about the stability and failure of the materials in the real-time applications, which in turn depends on these properties. Until now, we have learned about different properties. In this class, we will learn about the deflection, the bending strength of the material. It is deflection test or bending test. Deflection or bending. Whenever a load is applied perpendicular to the axis, the material will tend to bend, the specimen will tend to bend, deflect. Unlike tension, in which there is deformation, where load is axial, bending there will be deflection, not deformation, deflection, because load is transverse or perpendicular to the axis. Because of the perpendicular load, there will be deflection in the y direction. Suppose axis is in x direction, there will be deflection in y direction, where in the direction of load applied. Here we need to calculate what is the bending strength of that material. At the same time, similar to tensile test, we will calculate the Young's modulus. We will calculate the stress at proportional limit. At the same time, we will calculate the stress at yield point. We cannot calculate the stress at rupture because here there will be deflection, there will be no breaking, there is no breaking or there is no fracture, there will be only deflection. We will not allow up to fracture, we will do only deflection. The bending apparatus will be like this. This specimen will be tested in universal testing machine, where there will be two supports. There will be two supports. There are two figures over. There will be two supports, one support here, one support here. And UTM, by using UTM, you will apply load like this. Then this will bend. So axis of the specimen in this direction, x direction. Load is applied in y direction. The deflection will also occur in y direction only. Y direction only. How to conduct? We have to calculate the dimension of the specimen, length, breadth and width. It is placed under transfer beam installed in the closet of the universal testing machine. Test the beam simply supported two sliding blocks rollers mounted at the top. That is, the specimen is placed at the sliding between the sliding blocks, which will be explained in the conduction video. Then we have to note down the reading of load versus deflection. Reading of load versus deflection. By taking the deflection as standard intervals, at standard intervals, we will note down the load. We will note down the load, and we have to plot the graph for load and deflection. In the tabulation, we have to calculate either we can keep load in standard or deflection in standard. Suppose I'll keep load in standard for 0.5. There is no deflection. 0.5 kilonewton. 1.52. I am just the load is increased at 0.5 rate, 0.5 kilonewton rate, and deflection is noted down. After noting down the load and deflection, It is plotted deflection in x-axis and load in y-axis will get the curve, and the slope is taken. The slope is w by delta. The slope is w. The load is w. This is delta. Then Young's modulus is calculated by using the slope. W by delta is taken from the slope of that curve. L is length of the specimen. I is area moment of inertia. Area moment of inertia is given by BD cube by 12. For rectangular cross section, it is BD cube by 12. If the specimen is circular, we have to take pi d to the power 4 by 64. For rectangular cross section, it is BD cube by 12. B is breadth, D is depth. So that is how Young's modulus is calculated. After Young's modulus, we have to calculate stress at proportional limit. The bending equation is given by M by I is equal to E by R is equal to sigma by Y. Sigma is bending strength, E is Young's modulus, R is radius of curvature, Y is the distance of extreme fiber from the neutral axis, that is half of the depth. So sigma proportional is calculated by M proportional into Y by I. M proportional into Y by I. M means moment at proportional limit. Moment at proportional limit. Bending moment at proportional limit. Bending moment at proportional limit is given by the equation for bending moment is WL by 4. WL by 4. W means load. L is, just forget about that Y suffix now. W means load. L is length of the specimen divided by 4. This is the expression for moment. Moment M is equal to W into L by 4. If I take W value as W proportional means load at proportional limit in that curve, then I can calculate M at proportional limit. M at proportional limit will be load at proportional limit into L by 4. So that is M at proportional limit. Y is half of the depth. I is BD cube by 12. So if I substitute that, I will get sigma proportional. In the same way, I can find sigma Y, sigma yield. Sigma yield is moment at yield into Y by I. Y by I will be same. Just moment at yield. Moment at yield will be load at yield into L by 4. Moment at yield will be load at yield point into L by 4. So just considering the load at yield point, we will calculate moment at yield point. If I consider load at proportional limit, we will calculate moment at proportional limit, by which we will calculate sigma proportional and sigma yield. So Young's modulus, sigma proportional and sigma yield, these three things we will calculate. Hope you have understood. Thank you.
So next we will be going for the test, deflection test or bending test. So this is kind of finding the what is the bending ratio, what is this. So here we will be going for the specimen, whether it is my steel or wood or anything, we can go. So if you are using my steel, we have to restrict to certain length. Whereas if you go for wood and all, the fracture of the material takes place. Up to that extent, we will be going for the deflection. So what do you mean by deflection? When you apply the load exactly at the center, what will happen? Due to that, bending of the specimen takes place. So the bending of the specimen we call it as a deflection. That is why it is called as a deflection test, or we call it as a bending test. In bending test, what you got a specimen and it is under the roller support. Using the roller support, we apply the load on the exact center of the specimen, then we apply the load. So this is what you have got is a bending specimen, it is my steel. So this is the bending specimen you have got is, and the length of the specimen is what you have got is a 400 mm, 100, 200, 300, 400. Depending on your length, you can go for varying parameters. Next, we go for the finding the diameter of the specimen. It is something 19.71. It is a square workpiece and it is 20. Since it is a square, it is a 20 square of 20 mm. Next, take the center of the workpiece and mark with the pencil mark or any chalk mark. Next, you are going to support it between the roller supports. So here in this roller support, you have got a pin, you have got a different options. So you can observe here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers are there. When you are keeping it 1, 1, both the stopper at 1, 1, then the distance is 100 mm. When you keep it at 2, it is 200 mm. When you keep it at 3, 300 mm. So next, when you are keeping this slot, you can observe here, whatever the slot we are keeping, the 0 should be touching there. So you can observe that the pointer is on the third, that is the 300 mm. The work specimen is 400 mm. So why can't we keep it for 400 mm? Reason is that if you keep it in the 400 mm, the pointer, this will be exactly at the roller center of the roller support. What will happen when the load applied? The deflection takes place due to that slippage takes place. So minimum clearance of 50 mm on the both sides should be provided. So once we have set the distance between the roller as 300 mm. So 50 mm you have got here this side, 350 mm this. That's why the length of the specimen what you are using is the 400 mm. Next we are changing. In compression test we have gone for the compression pads. Here we are going for the peg of radius 16. So in peg you have got two radius, one is 16 radius as well as 22 radius. Depending on your size of the specimen, the peg varies. Only thing is the pad has been removed and it is replaced by the peg. Next, using the lower crosshead, bring the down and exactly the peg should touch the mark of the this one. So now can you see it? It is exactly in the center and it should, whatever specimen you are keeping, it should be in the center of the roller. So that any slippage should not take place and it should be equal distance. Can you observe here? This is a mark what you have applied and it should be touching there. So next we bring it further down. Now the peg is touching the specimen. Next we go for conduction of the this one. So when you go for conduction, always you have to remove the dead load. So I am not going to repeat how to remove the dead load. Whatever your steps you have followed in tensile, compression, shear, the same steps you have to follow. You have to remove the dead load. That is the weight, opposite weight acting on the machine to the hydraulic system. That should be removed. Next, go for set, tear, switch on the hydraulic, reset, then go for start button. It will come, everything will be. Next, open the hydraulic. So every 5 kN you have to note down the readings. There will be deflection upper yield and lower yield. 6.20 it has reduced. So what you got is upper yield, then it has reduced. So in bending, whatever the yield you will getting, it will be the slight yield you will be getting. So now you can observe the reason why I am telling there should be some 50 gap is that what will happen, the material has increased due to that bending has taken place. So the previous this was from here. So due to that it has reduced. That's why to avoid this one slippage. If you are going for wood specimen, then there is no need of stopping the setup because automatically the crack will be, the fracture of the wood takes place. If you go for aluminium, again the fracture of the material takes place. Whereas when you go for my steel, fracture of the material does not, since it is ductile nature, it will go on define and it slips and it may damage the. So when before it reaches the bottom of the UTM, you have to stop. Allow it for some time to get it stabilized, otherwise again it may return to the original position since the material is ductile in nature.